Voluntary assisted dying laws are now in effect in New South Wales after passing state parliament last year. Joining us live now is Dying with Dignity New South Wales President Penny Hackett. Penny, appreciate your time. Thank you. New South Wales, I believe, is the last Australian state to have its voluntary assisted dying laws begin. So heading into this new era for New South Wales, what do we actually know from other states' experiences about how many Australians are ending their lives via these sort of laws and the broadly agreed upon process that they need to go through to make it happen?
Yeah, that's right. New South Wales was the last state. In Victoria in 2017, they were the first state to pass these laws, and they had an 18-month implementation period, followed by WA, then Tasmania, Queensland and South Australia. And New South Wales, the laws were passed in May last year, and today marks the end of the 18-month implementation period. So now people with a terminal illness in New South Wales can make an application for voluntary assisted dying. The experience in the other states is exactly as we expected. The numbers have been relatively limited. The people that use it clearly meet the eligibility criteria, which in most states involves a prognosis of 6 months or 12 months for certain neurodegenerative illnesses. And in all instances, the patient must have at all stages decision-making capacity, and the process requires assessment by 2 doctors to confirm eligibility. We have been heartened by the reports from the various VAD boards in all states, which confirm that the regimes are operating safely and effectively. And the statistics show that the majority of people that use this law have cancer, followed by those with things like motor neurone disease and other neurodegenerative, and then the remainder are a mix of people with maybe chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and other life-ending illnesses.
Yeah, and as you point out, Penny, eligibility criteria is really a key plank to these laws. Western Australia has just this week released a review into their state's laws, which, as you point out, have been operating for a couple of years now. In that state, there was some debate over whether dementia should be considered as a reason for euthanasia. What's your view on that? Should dementia sufferers be eligible?
I think the reviews which are coming up also in Victoria, they're not intending to look at the substance of the laws. They're more to see whether the operation could be fine-tuned without changing eligibility. We know that an awful lot of people in the community would have liked these laws to extend to dementia, but that hasn't really been a feature of any of the laws passed anywhere in the world, which have almost universally required the person to have decision-making capacity at all stages of the process. It's not something which we see as politically feasible anytime soon, and so there's not any prospect of changes in the law, and the major Dying with Dignity organisations are not pursuing that as something they see as a realistic endpoint. But we do recognise that an awful lot of people are terribly anxious about how their lives might end should they get dementia. So it's important for us to ensure that people who do have a diagnosis of dementia have as much ability to control the end of their lives as is legally possible at the time. So we are working very hard to encourage those people to make sure that they have advanced care directives in place, and they appoint an enduring guardian who can advocate for them and make choices on their behalf should they become incapacitated or when they become incapacitated. It's something that I know palliative care are working on very closely, because their profession has traditionally focused very much on cancer, but they are now fully aware that there is a huge burden of disease from dementia, and that those people really need to have good access to palliative care.
Penny Hackett, really appreciate you making the time. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much.